welcome back to the Box Office Brawl. And this week we have to preface this episode with a hearty amount of spoiler warnings.
Yeah, it's less a brawl and just two people in third grade who've never been in a fight before.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a slap fight for the next however many minutes because we are here to talk about As Above, So Below versus The Pyramid.
Because they were both set to come out around the same time. As Above, So Below came out in late 2014. The Pyramid was supposed to, but it got pushed to a DVD release in early 2015. They're both found footage that has a lot of non-found footage in it to piece everything together.
Just to piece everything together. And it's also a claustrophobic, like, in a tunnel or underground film.
Parisian catacombs versus a pyramid.
Pyramid! What? He went to a pyramid, and this is why we put the spoiler warnings up.
Yeah. So, let's start with your favorite film of all time. Let's get into As Above, So Below.
Let's just
and why? Because this was the movie you wanted to clash. You wanted to find something that was an alternative. So we kind of picked The Pyramid without having seen it because it had similar themes. Yeah, and then we watched it.
And to be fair, like, the trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah. So, As Above, So Below has its faults. I reviewed this movie when it came out. You can go Google that. I believe I did it for Drug Movies.
I'll put a link down.
But this young lady over here has been waiting.
I've been waiting. I've been brewing. I've been like a festering fucking wound over this movie.
So, your time to shine. I'll just sit back and have a drink.
And enjoy the ride. Okay, so As Above, So Below. Like, I enjoy claustrophobic movies.
Claustrophobos.
I enjoy claustrophobic films. I do. They just, there's something about them. I'm not necessarily claustrophobic, but I can watch a claustrophobic movie and get the vibe. So I saw the... Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, yes! Like, yes! I'm all into it. Then I finally get to see the film.
So that happened.
Now, let me explain to you, audience, what had happened here. So I watched the film. I wasn't totally engrossed in it, like other things were going on. And I got to the ending, and I went, oh my God. Like, no. I must have missed something. Let me watch it again with my full and undivided attention. So I did that. I was so much more confused and unimpressed after giving it my undivided attention that I was like, oh my gosh, am I just like, what's wrong with me? Like, I was in an abusive fucking relationship with this movie.
You have to actually, when you're concentrating on that movie, to follow all of its lines of stupidity, you're throwing brain cells at it. So you are actually getting dumber.
That explains a lot, because then I watched it a third time.
Okay, now we're just getting into masochism here.
Yeah. Maybe I hated myself a little that week. I don't know what was going on, but I was just like, no way this movie is this bad. Like, how?
It can't be this bad. I must have missed a plot point.
Yeah, it can't be this bad. I have to just not be getting something. And so the only thing that I got from watching it a third time was going, oh, hey, the camera guy was the homeless dude in The Purge.
That's what you got out of the whole movie.
That's what I got out of my third viewing of the movie. It was like, oh, hey, that guy. So, yeah. Honestly, that's the most positive thing that I got out of this whole movie.
Yeah, and for those of you who haven't seen it, it's just a pretty simple plot point. You're going to explore the catacombs for stupid reasons. Yeah. And then they go into them, and stupid things happen for stupid reasons. And then they're in hell.
But let me just throw out there, the stupid reason that this bitch is down there is because she's looking for the fucking Philosopher's Stone. Like, this movie didn't know if it wanted to be fucking Indiana Jones, and I'm cursing so much in this episode. I really didn't want to. I'm trying. It didn't know.
Calm your shit.
I know. I'm so angry at this movie still to date. Like, I'm so angry at this movie. But yeah, like, like that's the culmination of it. It's like I finally found it, and it's like, wait, you're looking for the freaking Philosopher's Stone? Like, is this Indiana Jones? Because there's a bunch of club kids down here who are twitchy and tweaking, and like they're your guy. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I,
And then
if you're really on the verge of such a huge breakthrough, there's got to be at least one more professional somewhere in the world willing to join you. That you're not hiring part-time cave explorers / spelunkers.
from a
So
nightclub in Paris.
yeah, so it should have either been a bunch of professionals doing it, like hiring actual fucking spelunkers, maybe taking one of those kids who mapped it out.
Yeah.
Or you go the other route, and it's just a bunch of dumbasses doing it, for shits and giggles, and then they end up in hell, and you just wipe the whole Philosopher's Stone out of it. Have them get too deep, find a really weird, what the hell,
Portal, like
yeah,
whatever.
and then get out. That's two better ways to do the movie
There,
than what
oh
they did.
yeah, there were a million better ways to do this movie, and like I was even okay with that. I was okay with it
I wasn't.
until they're in hell, and she's like, "Oh, we can just use the stone to fix him." Like her boyfriend or whatever gets injured, she's like, "We can use the stone to fix him. The stone will cure everything because it grants life everlasting." Whatever bullshit. Oh, but the stone doesn't work in hell because she's the stone all along. And once they threw that fairy tale, like, total BS in there, I was just, oh, like, I was ready to rage quit. Except, like, the first time I watched it, I was like, whoa, no, I must have missed something because how did she, like, magically have Healy powers in hell? Like, I missed something. No.
The only
No.
part of that movie that I really liked was the idea of your own fears and experiences coming back to haunt you. That was kind of cool. But otherwise, I had nothing to say
It
about
was cool, but you had no premise for it because you had no backstory for these people. So it's like, why is there a burning car with a guy in it and he gets sucked into it? I don't know. Like,
it. Yeah.
what the fuck happened?
Because then you either had to rely on just, okay, that's horrible, or exposition. And it's really hard to have exposition when
You're
bad
being
things have happened.
eaten by a
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
Volvo.
Let me pause while I die to tell you the story of
Yeah, to
my
tell
dear
you.
departed brother and my drunk driving accident.
Yeah. So it's like, guy gets eaten by a Volvo, but only half eaten because they left his legs sticking out of the floor for some. Like, even the, like, coming back to get you, like, hell, karma, whatever, was half-assed.
Yeah. So then we have the pyramid, which at least this one stuck to the idea. Archaeologists uncover a three-sided pyramid. It possibly predates any known pyramid. It takes place the same time as a civil unrest in Egypt. So they got to get out, but they don't want to get out because it's fucking possible discovery of the century.
Science!
Yeah, so they decide, hey, let's go into the pyramid real quick, get some pictures, get some da 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 da, and then GTFO. And then turns out that the pyramid is more than it seems. And here's where I'm going to throw some spoilers at. The CGI was pretty impressive. Um, this movie was made for almost 4 times the budget as Above So Below, which is funny that this is the one that went direct to DVD.
Yeah.
But the special effects, thank God, there were some practical effects in there, and I appreciated that, and the CGI didn't look too terrible. But the monsters in the pyramid, it just had me laughing. Like, the traps were cool, but then, oh no, look, angry little hairless Egyptian cats, they're biting me. Oh no.
Ah.
And then we do get to the big baddie, and unfortunately, the big baddie is not a cat, but I couldn't tell the difference between the cats and the not cat. So someone screwed up in the special effects department for that one. But the whole idea is, yeah, we found the temple of Osiris,
Anubis.
Anubis. Oh Jesus. So yeah, we found the temple
Go see
dedicated to
Gods
God.
of Egypt and
I
learn
will.
your
Yeah, I'll be reviewing that one.
people.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah,
Son.
anyhow, and this was actually I thought it was a cooler premise. It was a much cleaner movie. Just stuff happened, get in, die, okay, and a movie.
Yeah.
You know, the ending was stupid.
The ending was
I hated
totally
the ending,
stupid.
but it's I think it was the
It
ending
was
that every horror movie in that 5-year pyramid had, or period had. Everything
it's
from
that
2011,
five-sided pyramid had.
every movie from like 2010 to 2015 had that stupid type of death in this
Yeah.
horror film. So unfortunately, I just kind of, oh yeah, hey, no surprise.
Well, you saw it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I hope you saw it coming.
But I'll say it was a tighter film. It was better paced, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
made sense. You know, there was no, oh, we're going to find some random mythical object. No, we're going into a pyramid, and then everything in the pyramid was ascribed to Egyptian myth. So, yay! It got a little silly, but again, it made sense. The sickness, the animals, as dumb as the cat person, dog person, whatever looked, it made
Jackal.
sense. Yeah, sure, it was a giant cat man. And again, spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, don't. I will say I liked it better than As
If
Above, So Below, but I've had bowel movements that I appreciated more than that movie.
I've
So,
had food poisoning that I've appreciated more than As
yeah.
Above, So Below.
So unfortunately, it is what it is. I think that the wrong one went direct to DVD. Honestly,
Yes.
or no, it did get a minor release, but it got no press. Like I don't remember
Yeah.
ever seeing a commercial for the Pyramid.
The only thing I had ever seen about it is I caught a trailer for it on a DVD for a film that I watched from last year.
Yeah, apparently it came out in 500 plus theaters, but
Who knew?
it didn't make its money back.
No. And that's a point I want to touch on. It's the last episode we were like, yeah, let's stick up for the little guy, like indie films. Woo! In this scenario, As Above, So Below is the indie film.
Yeah. A $5 million budget compared to almost 17 million.
Yeah.
Now you can see the effects on the Pyramid. You can
You can
see
see
that
the money. Yeah, you can see the money.
but As Above, So Below, I felt was filmed for like $85 and a stick of gum. So really, all the money they spent all the money on the set pieces, which didn't do anything to enhance the film.
Really? I thought it was just like a sad hand job and a bad Harry Potter fan fiction.
Yeah, and bad set pieces.
Yeah. You know,
That's where you get the sad hand job.
that's
And
where
that
you, that's
helps
where
make
you
more.
get the sad hand job.
Next to the burning Volvo.
That's what happened to the Volvo. See, we've come up with a backstory.
See, and this is the issue with a lot of horror movies nowadays. Is unfortunately, the amount of money you spend isn't necessarily an indicator of how good the movie's going to be. We've seen a lot of big budget flops, and we've seen a lot of tiny films make their money back. And unfortunately, this is the trend now. Well, even if it kind of flops, if we only spent $5 million on it and it makes $10 million, boom, we've doubled our profit,
Yeah,
and we can do it
job's
again.
done.
So it's almost sadly encouraging the industry to make more micro budget horror films because, well, even if nobody likes it, well, they've already paid for the tickets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just,
Yeah, so
I don't, I'm a little torn where to go with this. Like,
I'm going to say I enjoyed The Pyramid more, if nothing else, and it was only like 85 minutes long.
The Pyramid was the right amount of time for that kind of movie. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely came in at the right amount of time. And I say that because it came in on a short time frame, which horror movies just seem to work better in that like 80 to 100-minute mark.
Yeah, because the more time you spend dicking around, the more likely you are to lose the audience's attention. You need to keep a certain amount of suspense or horror on the screen. You're not doing that with a 2-hour film.
But also, like, the Pyramid felt like a more grandiose experience. Like, it felt like a bigger movie than like an
I was
85-minute
Yeah,
movie.
I was actually surprised that it had a lower rating on Rotten Tomatoes than As Above.
Me too, because I
Yeah.
don't feel that that's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah,
Like,
is The Pyramid a good movie? No. No. But it's a watchable movie. It's a movie
it's
that
totally
you put
watchable.
on when you're half asleep and you're just like, I just want to watch something silly when I'm going to bed, or I just want to kill 90 minutes before I go out somewhere. You
Yeah.
can watch The Pyramid. You won't feel like you just wasted an hour and a half of your life. You won't be like, fuck, I got to order this on Blu-ray. But you'll be like, okay, that was a movie. It had some good parts. It had some really bad parts. And now we move on. As Above, So Below, you're going to watch that movie, and you're just going to wish you could find someone involved with that film and punch him right in the throat. so they can never
Yeah,
talk
Liam
again.
Neeson style, just like straight for the throat and then the groin. You know, you always follow up with the groin if you're following Liam Neeson's, style there. It's like throat punch, crotch,
Yeah.
good
And
to
I'm
go.
not saying go and punch somebody involved with the movie. I'm just saying that's how angry you're
I'm
going to be.
totally saying go punch somebody involved in the movie. Like don't break anything, but yeah, somebody needs to get slapped around for that.
But
Somebody
we
does.
fortunately seem to be moving on from the found footage. There were less last year. I haven't seen any previews yet this year. Hopefully that's because there aren't any and I have
Oh
missed one.
no, there's
Oh,
some.
okay, then I just haven't seen them yet.
We'll get to that in trailer talk, I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's a little bit of a dying breed, which disappoints me because the ones that are really good are really good.
But the ones that have been pushed lately aren't the ones that are really good.
No, they're definitely not.
So let's take a
Uh,
break, let someone innovate in a year or five, and then bring it back,
I don't-
So yeah, box office brawl.
Box Office Brawl. I'm going to proclaim the winner, the Pyramid, because I refuse to vote for As Above, So Below Par.
I think, and if you ever want to sequel the Pyramid or remake it, just get the rights to Pyramid Head. Have like an Inception thing going on, Pyramid Head in a pyramid. There we go. You're welcome, Hollywood.
Oh.
And it would be scarier than the half dog cat cat dog.
Pyramid Head in anything, and it's terrifying because if you know anything about Pyramid Head, like that's terrifying.
Yeah, the Pyramid was not a good movie. It was just better than its opponent.
I
It won. It won at the end of round 10 by
do a technical knockout.
judge scoring. They just had more points at the end. That's it. There was no.
I'd go with
There's
a technical
no
knockout just because it looked better, it felt better. Like again, just with there being an actual tangible plot. Like I didn't like the ending, and there's stuff that I would nitpick about it, but I would still rate it like,
Yeah.
if I had to do a 1 to 5, I would give it like a 2.5.
I do have to. The shaft they climb up the rope ladder. Like how high was that? Like 100 feet, 200 feet. They just had this weird field of depth. And then that creature like climbed it slow as shit one time, and then the next time he's like 8 seconds per
Yeah.
100 yards. Like he was superhero speed. It's like, come on, man, make up your mind. How good are you? But yeah, I mean, like, it had plot holes.
Underworld.
Yeah, it had plot holes. It wasn't a great movie, but in this comparison, yeah.
It's the winner.
And that's all I can say about it. I'm exhausted from this one.
And that's all I wanted to find was something that could be a shitty movie but still better than As Above, So.
And it would have been cheating if we brought The Descent in.
Oh yeah, no, that would have totally been cheating because The Descent is wonderful. You should go watch that.
Instead of either of the
Or even the second one. The second one is even better than either of these films. And the second Descent is not that great. But it's still a better movie.
And this is kind of putting everything in perspective. The subpar sequel to a good movie is still better than either of the films we're talking about.
Yep.
And on that
Put
note,
these two together, that's like $22 million people spent to make these two movies.
yeah, and if you combine their gross, I think they broke even.
Somewhere along the way. Wait, I have the numbers. Yeah, actually, if they were combined, they would have actually made $1 million. And that's sad.
Yeah. So at least we spoke with our wallets when it came to these movies. Yay.
For the most part, yeah. I don't feel like the Pyramid, like, having a nationwide release and a non-nationwide release. But again, that's nitpick theater, so. The moral of the story is go watch The Descent.
Yeah.
Or The Descent 2.
This is more like
now
it's
on
more like
Netflix.
instead of a boxing match, we're now at like a wrestling event, and just the third character just jumped in, knocked the other two guys out with chairs, and fucking walked out.
Yeah, we're the tables, ladders, and chairs match at like WrestleMania. That's what this has turned into.
So,
And
all right.
somebody just came out and got the table and just went bam.
So
Watch
that's it.
Descent.
That's the final word on that one. Go watch The Descent.
That
Thanks for
is.
watching.
I feel better having gotten all that off my chest. So thanks for bearing with my rant of like total profanity filled rage at that movie. I appreciate you guys. So I think our tentative schedule with the show, I should probably interject, business, business, business. Um, Tentative schedule for the show is we're going to do this every other week. So we will see you every other Thursday, unless something just so happens to drop in our laps that it's too good to resist. Not looking good. See you in 2 weeks, everybody. Thanks, Pappy, for coming out and participating in this grueling endurance match of just utter crap.
It got pretty gruesome, but only for us.
Yeah, because our retinas were inflicted with both of these movies.
Yeah. I'm going to go eye bleach now. So,
I
bye.
love eye bleach. It's so sanitary.